like a boss.
Alright, so in today's video, I'm going to be showing you ladies how to make a guy chase using non-verbal communication, alright? And look, this is one of the simplest things I've ever learned because I learned, actually, I'm going to give you the backstory where I learned this from. I learned this from a girl that I went out with last week, right? And we went on a date, you know, we met up at the coffee shop. You looking beautiful, and she was also looking beautiful. She's watching, because I told her about this. I actually told her that I was going to make this video, so she must be laughing. She's like, oh my God, it's so cute too, I remember that. No, I'm kidding with you guys. But seriously though, so the way that she talked in a very unique manner. Not that she talked weirdly, but she just had a very interesting mannerisms. And one of her mannerisms was that when I said something, she would be like, wow. You know, like, let me see if it's charging. Yeah. She would like, wow. For example, I would say, oh yeah, man, like, Robert Greene's the shit. Wow. Like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know when somebody says like, wow, you sound crazy. Like that kind of wow. But from her perspective, it wasn't like she was saying wow because I'm crazy. Maybe she was. But she was saying wow because maybe it was just a habit. You see what I'm saying? So another thing that she used to do was that when I would say something, she would like, and I'd be like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, what the fuck does that mean? Right? She was like, oh no, I'm just listening. Be like, it's just crazy. Like not in a negative way. I think she didn't like me. Not that I'm thinking about it. But can you see how it's getting into my head, right? So she used to go like this, like, I would say something like, yeah, man, like, Earth is flat. Okay. Or I would say something that's even logical. Oh, yeah, man, I love playing basketball. Like that, right? And I would like, the fuck, all right? That's another thing that she used to do, right? What's another one? Because it's completely fascinating. I'm sure you guys ought to apply it. Another thing that she didn't do, but I know that really gets to people's head, and I'm going to put everything together. I'm just giving you guys an introduction, was when she used to talk to me, from time to time, she would have like a straight face, like a face like this. You know what I'm saying? Like that, right? So if somebody's listening to you, right, usually the way they do is that they give you feedback with their faces. Oh, okay. But most of the time she was like this a lot of times, like. And there were times when she laughed. Of course, she was a human being. She had emotions, right? But the point is that during those moments of it got in my head. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck? Okay, right? But I didn't let it get to my head, but I knew what was going on, and I found it very fascinating. So I began noticing those little things. So how do you use this in an interaction with your intended target, right? For example, you could use this on a date, and this is gonna kill me. I used it on a date later on that day, right? So I went out with a girl later on, and in the beginning, she wasn't interested. I was actually on the weekend. That was like on the Sunday, right? I went out on a date with a girl, right? She was smoking hot, right? And I was like, so we were talking, right? And during the first couple of minutes of the interaction, she didn't look that interested, to be honest with you. I was like, damn, this is one of those days I don't talk about. But then I was like, oh fuck, I remember that thing she did to me, the other girl. And so I was like, okay, so let me do it. So she was like, oh yes, and I started working on a project. There's a project on fashion, and I'm like, and she was like, something wrong with that? No, keep talking. Oh, okay. And then and so I started noticing that as soon as I started doing that, she started getting in her head, and I knew notice like little sudden pauses when she was like. And she then continued talking. You see what I'm saying? So I want to add on to the video and say that the reason why this gets to people's heads is because we're always vibing for people's reactions. When we say something, we're always looking at people's reactions to see whether or not we're saying the right thing. And so when you give them an ambiguous reaction, a reaction that can mean two things, you see, that makes them doubt themselves. So they're listening to you, but they're also looking at where do they stand in your mind. That's how you get into people's heads. You see what I'm saying? And so that's one thing. And another thing is that we're always, as humans, if somebody doesn't give us the feedback we want, we try to get that feedback. So if you're talking to someone like this, of course they're gonna try to make you laugh, especially if you were laughing earlier. Why did he get so serious now? Did I make him stop liking me? Why did she stop liking me? Did they say something that made her stop liking me? Let me say something that's funny. See what I'm saying? And that's because you become you become someone whom you have to stimulate to get a reaction from. Now you don't do this all the time, but when you do this, it makes them want what they once had. It's so crazy that I remember when I used to think about making people chase, I would assume that I was making them laugh. You could, right? But then there's another side of it where you don't do nothing, where you present to them an ambiguous glance, an ambiguous kind of an ambiguous way of saying things. For example, you can say wow, and that could be anything. Wow could mean anything. Like, wow, you're crazy. Oh, wow, that's incredible. Oh, wow, that's interesting. You see? But the point is that you don't try to make them understand. You don't try to give them a clear understanding as to what you're communicating. You can say wow, and let them fucking guess what the fuck the wow means. You see what I'm saying? So that's one thing you can do. So if you're talking to a girl, from time to time, do that. Go like, if she says something, just go like, she'll be like, oh, I'm the oldest sibling. Oh, wow, for real? Wow, shit. Like, holy shit, damn, you're crazy. You see what I'm saying? Or when she's talking to you about something that's very interesting to her, you just look at her like this. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You just look at her like a bland look, like bored. I promise you money that if you find this uncomfortable, you're doing the opposite. If you find this uncomfortable, you're doing the opposite. All right?
Another example would be if I tell you like, I don't know, like, by the way, I love to read a lot. And you'd be like, you like to read a lot? You see, like that, like, what? What do you mean by that? You see, or another thing you could do, they could say, let's say they say something like, I hate my mom. What? What do you mean you hate your mom? What do you mean by that? You see, like that, it's kind of like a verbal attack. They could, look, if you have good rapport, if the conversation is going well and then suddenly you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what the fuck, what do you mean by that? Or let's say you're confused and you don't understand what they're saying. Rather than, can you say that again? You'd be like, what the fuck you mean? What do you mean? What the fuck, what are you talking about? You see, it's kind of like, it's a fucked up thing, but it's just absolutely fascinating how it gets into people's heads.
Sometimes when a woman is trying to get a guy to like them, they will say this or that. But in this case, this doesn't require words, but a simple shift in your reaction. That's what we're doing. We're just lowering our reaction, all right? So simply be boring, intentionally be boring, right? Intentionally be uninterested. Like, it's not like you're really uninterested, but you're communicating this interest. You could be interested in the person. That's what I'm saying. Like, you could really like the person, but just communicate this interest. Like, just be interested on the inside and don't show it outward. She's gonna sense, he or she is gonna sense that there is two kinds of signals that they're getting from you, and that's when they begin getting into their heads. That's when they get into their heads. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, the easiest nonverbal way to make someone chase is a powerful, powerful thing. I tried it once and I saw instant results. It was just, it's a beauty. It's a thing of beauty. It's a thing of beauty.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys ever want to learn how to use your feminine energy to influence people, learn how to use your masculine energy to become more assertive, and also learn how to blend both energies to improve your dating life, your spiritual life, honestly, your relationship life, your family life, your career life, this is the course for you. If I had to make a course for my nieces, I have two nieces, one is 19 and one is 15. 16. Holy shit. Oh my God, he's a bad fucking uncle. He's a bad uncle. Get him. Shut up, Melissa. You should get this course, right? And this is the course that I will make for them. So, for example, watch the curriculum, right? In the first week, we're going to be showing you how to establish a strong masculine foundation without letting it hurt your feminine energy. This masculine foundation is a source of who you are, right? It's your bodyguard. Without this, whatever feminine energy you create will be destroyed by the outside, because your masculine is your shield. So we'll talk about goal setting. We'll talk about how to develop a serious attitude. We're going to be talking about how to use more logic, how to use more goal-oriented behavior. It's more how to be a man. Now the next one is how to embrace the feminine energy, right? This one will teach you about how to minimize excessive masculine traits, developing self-awareness, healing abundant feminine energy, regulating your emotion, mastering voice qualities and facial expressions, surrendering control, and allowing pain to be felt. This is honestly, this will supercharge, like Kaioken, your masculine energy. After that, we have femininity in the workplace and how to be feminine in the workplace without letting people take advantage of you, and the nuances of how women on power should behave versus women who are subordinates in the workplace, and even a dress code. This is based on psychology, people. It's kind of insane. I'm actually excited about this one. The next week, we talk about navigating the labyrinth of male and female friendship. And this, a lot of women find confusing, so we talk about that. and how to identify envious friends, how to identify the good friends, how to keep male friends, and how to keep female friends. Week 5, we talk about how to release the burden of the past and stop and destroy mental projections. This is actually really powerful. And then week 6, we talk about how to increase your observational power so that you could read people better. And we have a bunch of bonuses. The course starts at $99, and you guys can pre-order the course today at $69 before it goes out. If you're watching this, most likely I'm in the meditation retreat, so most likely I will be praying for all of you guys. And just click on the description down below of the video. Right there, you'll see it, and you could pre-order that course. It's gonna be out by the end of next month or the beginning of February of March. One of the two people, because I have a 10-day retreat to do, and I want to finish the course after the retreat, because I think the ideas are gonna be so much better. All right, man. I'll see you guys later. Pre-order, man. Oh, I'm closing the channel.